What's up YouTube, SnatchPato here, and this is the very first video of me playing blindfold chess. I've decided to practice blindfold chess and perhaps one day get good at it, but for now, it's the very first time I'm pretty much ever playing blindfold chess. I've started an account on Chess called Blind Snatch, which is a new account so that I can track my blindfold rating and so I don't get put in really high games later on when I eventually verse people because my other ratings are much too high considering I'm going to be playing blindfolded. So there's a couple of ground rules that I'm going to set. Ground rule one for myself, until I get the hang of it, I'm just going to jump into this game with Stockfish level 1. Um, until I get the hang of it, I'm allowed to use circles and arrows, just to remind myself where the pieces are. Um, and ground rule number 2 is that I give myself 3 opportunities max each game where I can go here to settings and turn on the pieces really quick, see what the position looks like, and then turn it back off before making a move. 3 times a match, which means that over time I'll bring that down to 2 and then 1 and then 0, and hopefully I'll be able to play a lot better blindfolded then. We're going to have the move list here on the right, so I'll be able to identify what moves being played and maybe go back through the moves in my mind to keep track of the game. But more or less, yeah, we're just going to play against Stockfish level 1 until we do pretty well against it, then maybe Stockfish level 2, and so on and so forth until we're playing some real games against real people, and then we'll start lowering the time controls because we're going to start out, and the games are probably going to take a little while because it's going to take a while to get used to, but we'll see, we'll see. And I've also done one iteration of this video before, and I realized after about 20 minutes of recording and a lot of brain power that my mic was muted the whole time. So just checking right now. Yep, unmuted, so you can definitely hear me. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to play e4. And you can see here over on the right, d5 if you want to follow along at home. At the end of the game, we will go back through it quickly. So if you lose track of the game, know that at the end there will be a brief analysis so we can have a look at what the game looked like. But do your best to follow along with me. Try and play the game in your head. And we're going to go on this adventure together. So e4 and d5 is the Scandinavian defense. I'm going to take that pawn. And queen takes d5. So knight c3 and queen f5. Now, what that does is it's attacking my c-pawn, but not that big of a deal right now. I think I'm just going to develop a knight. I don't see any direct threats from my opponent just yet. h5. So again, this is Stockfish level 1, so it's going to be pretty bad as far as playing chess goes, but we're going to be blind, so it's definitely going to be a trade-off. Now h5 has been played. I have a knight on f3 and knight on c6, and this is what I mean by dots. I'm gonna click where my pieces are. Click off that knight. We got something that looks a little bit like this. And he has a queen on f5 and a pawn on h5. I might put them in a different color. That's my opponent's pieces and the rest are on the back ranks. And he doesn't have a d-pawn. That's gone. But what can we do? I don't think I can punish that, so to speak, immediately, but I'm just going to continue on and probably expand in the center with d4. Seems like a logical choice, gain some space, prevent him from playing e4. So he's played h4. While I'm not really scared of this pawn, I really don't want it to come to h3 and make me flinch. So what I'm going to play is h3 here, just to stop that pawn going any further. Okay, he's played knight to c6, and this is also going to help with my coordinates. It's going to help me use my coordinate notation, I suppose, more often and more frequently, and help me visualize the squares. When I say knight c6, I really hammer home that that's that square. This pawn here is protected by my knight, so I needn't worry about it right now. And maybe in future videos, I will be able to sort it out where maybe down below me will be a board that you can see the pieces on that I can't see. I'll try and maybe sort that out, but that might be a bit of post-production work there. How can I strike at this queen? I can play bishop to d3. That is an option. Bishop d3, he might play something like, not there. That would be a bad move. Maybe, no, queen can't play here, here, or here actually. My knight covers this square, my pawn covers this square, and my bishop will cover this square. So I was worrying about my g2 pawn, but that shouldn't be a drama. And the queen also can't play to d5 because my knight covers it. So I think bishop d3 is a good move. So the queen's come all the way to a5. This knight is pinned now. I don't have a pawn on d2. Remember, I played d4. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bishop on d2 and break that pin, and maybe we'll have some discovered stuff with our knight. Okay, so e5 has been played. That's covered by me. He does have a knight on c6 to help. So if I take, he can probably play knight takes, queen takes, check. And my queen on e1 will be in check. So I guess I will maybe play queen e2 and try and take. I don't, or maybe he can take on d3, d4 here, because my bishop is in the way of my queen's defense of d4. So perhaps I'll take. I could also consider playing something like, you know, knight e4, striking at the queen, but it's all getting very tactical, isn't it? Perhaps I should take. Maybe I can even push, though. I can consider pushing. And if this knight jumps in here like this, I can take this pawn, because my pawn will be blocking the queen's defense. So I think that looks actually pretty good. I'm going to push forward. My knight also defends that piece. So knight from c to e7. So this pawn is hit. He's hit it twice, queen and knight. But my queen is behind the d pawn. If I can move this bishop, so maybe there's something there. Maybe simply bishop e4. Bishop e4 means this pawn is on pre. I've also got knight to b4, knight to b5, looking at c7, because my bishop will be striking at that, and my bishop protects it. But I think bishop e4, protect that, and then threaten to take on e5 is the way to go. Bishop to e4. His queen's here. Yeah, bishop e4 I'm going to play. Knight f6 is played. I don't have a pawn though. That's his pawn. Now this bishop is protected by my knight, but the biggest problem is if I take on e4. If I take on e5, he can take on e4. I take with my knight, then he can grab this pawn. So I'm not exactly sure here. I could just castle also, but then he's going to do the same thing and threaten to take my knight. Is his king still on d8? No, that's where his queen starts. His king is here, so there'll be no pin. I was thinking about bishop to g5, but that's not possible. I can play. No, I can't play knight to e4. I can play. No, I can't play knight to d5 either. I've got to remember that there's a pawn on d5 and my bishop on e4. I was trying to do some discovered stuff with this bishop and attack this knight. Doesn't seem possible. Perhaps because I need to leave my knight on this square, I think. Otherwise, this pawn will drop. I think I'm going to have to take this pawn. And he's going to take my bishop. I'm going to take with the knight. His queen will have to take here. And I've got these two pieces hanging. This is a tough position. I'm losing track in my mind of what's happening here. So let's reiterate with our lines and whatnot. We have no knight, no bishop. Bishop here, queen here, knight here, bishop here, knight here, pawn here, king, pawn, 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 rook. That's what our position looks like. And he has a pawn here, knight here, knight here. So queen here, and rook, bishop, bishop, rook, king, pawn, 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 pawn. Something like that, I believe. Which makes it a little bit more clear, and obviously this is somewhat cheating. But as we're learning Blindfold, I think this is okay to start with, especially to get the hang of it, you know what I mean? So the biggest issue, I'll highlight it in red, is this pawn here on d5. It's a bit loose, because he's got two knights and a queen hitting it, and there's pretty much no way I can defend. My biggest concern is this bishop here. So what can I do? I'm gonna go ahead and play knight to b5. No. Can't play knight b5. I thought my bishop was still on d3 helping it, but no, the queen could just take it because my bishop is on e4. Bishop e4 seems like I made a mistake at some point. Okay, maybe just castle. Let's just castle and see what happens. So the queen has played to c5 for unknown reasons. Just rookie 1. Get behind my bishop and help out. I could play bishop to e3, hitting the queen, gaining a tempo. That means my queen will help down this file. So I think that's an okay move, bishop e3. But why not get a rook involved, yeah? Let's get a rook involved. So knight g6. So rather than trying to take on d5, he's overprotected e5. And my knight can no longer capture that pawn. It's defended. I've got to remember I've got a pawn on a3 actually. I said I had a pawn on h2 earlier, but I don't. He has a pawn on h4 and I have one on h3. So maybe I can use this square permanently, you know? Maybe my knight can come to this square later. There's a knight here too, so I can threaten to double his pawns if I play bishop from d2 to g5. That actually looks pretty good to me. Bishop d2 to g5. I kind of like that. I'm going to go for this. a6. Pretty much a nothing move. How are you guys doing it along at home? Have you been able to keep up with the position? How about this? Just for you guys, if you don't want to see the board, when I say now, skip ahead about 10 seconds in the video. But I'm going to shut my eyes and I'm going to go blindfold chess, no, and then go back to the tab so you guys can see the position and then transition back. I'm not going to look, but I want you guys to be able to see, you know, make it a bit fair. So blindfold pieces are off. This is the position. I can't see it. Hopefully I don't exit the tab when I click this. That's the position. I think that's gone back to the menu. No, I've opened a new tab, but that's pretty good. It's the same thing. So blindfold chess pieces are on. Back to normal. Okay, so I hope you saw what I wanted you to see. And if you didn't want to see it, well, too bad, I guess. Now I've thrown myself. I've got a bishop here, knight here, bishop here. So I think I'm going to take this knight as prepared. G takes, f6 has been played. This is a hole here for my opponent now. So what can I do about it? This pawn's protected now. Now, objectively, the moves I've been playing probably haven't been best, but they have not blundered stuff. That's good. Now, knight b4, no, it can be taken by the queen. Never mind. Sorry, my knight's on c3 anyway. What am I thinking? Pawn, bishop, knight, knight. Rook, queen. Pawn, pawn, pawn. Pawn, pawn, pawn. Rook. Something like that. So why not queen e2? Queen here. Looking for a rook to d1. Let's go with this. Just bishop d7. I'm going to play rook d1 quickly. f5. So he's lashed out at my bishop. Can I take that? I don't think so. I think I've got only one attack, so I'm going to have to tuck my bishop back. He's played e4 with a fork. Ouch. Yeah, that hurts a little bit there. That hurts. Maybe I can take? No, he's got a pawn on f5 is the problem. Well, I appear to be down a piece. Let's go bishop takes and then knight takes. Hitting the queen. So the queen goes back to a5. I'm wondering if I can jump in here with check. I think I can, right? I'm pretty sure his position consists of a queen, a bishop, a pawn? No. A pawn here. I think he has a pawn still on f. No, he played f5. There's a pawn, bishop, queen. I have a pawn here. Wait, does that mean I can take this bishop? Oh no, he played bishop d7. That's right, that's right. Well, I can go check and then pick up this light squared bishop, which I think I'll do. I don't think he has any pieces that can take this knight. So I'm going to go for this. King d8, I'm going to take the bishop. Now the knight, the king's recaptured. I have this pawn here. If I push this, my rook starts to play along the d file. I'm going to take this moment to use one of my 3 looks at the board. So let's have a quick gaze, just to make sure everything's right. Yeah. So this position looks pretty good. I am down material, but I have quite an initiative here. I won't make any move while I can see the pieces. I think that'll be cheating. But yeah, my position looks solid at the very least. And perhaps we can cause some mischief here. All right, I'm going to turn the pieces back onto invisible, and I'm going to play knight to g5, attacking f7. c6 is strict at this point. This is going to be a double check, actually, on the king and open up the center, and I'm all for that. Well, actually, no. No. First, I'm going to take here and strike at the rook. And he's let me take his rook, which I'll be very happy to do. And the knight's recaptured, which means I have access to not this square, because the bishop on f8 will capture me, but I do have access to what square that I didn't before. This square is available, I believe. There's a king here. This might be very close to mate, in fact. Queen to e6. Yes, because I captured this pawn and then took the rook, so the knight's jumped back. I don't think he had any defense here. His king's here. He's got 3 pawns like this. He's got a bishop, not on d8, but here. So I think this is mate in 2. I think I have queen e6 check, king g8, and then queen here checkmate. Let's go for this. Ah, he didn't have a pawn on c7. That's right. He captured like this. Okay, so it's not mating. Aha. He played this earlier and then here. Okay, that changes things. But I do have rook check. Not rook check, but the rook attacks the queen. And then I can be threatening some other stuff, like rook to d7, depending on where he puts his queen. So let's go for that. Let's take this pawn. My queen on e6 is still defending my rook on e1, so there'll be no mates from his queen. So the bishop is blocked. So queen check here. King can tuck here, but that doesn't seem very good for some reason. I gotta be careful with my rook still. Maybe I can simply play rook to e5, threatening it to take the c5 pawn, c5 bishop. He can play b6 though, so maybe ace a3, threatening b4 for a fork, forking the king. Sorry, forking the queen and bishop. My queen's got to maintain defense of this rook. That's something for me to remember. But I think actually c3 might be more prudent, just because it stops this being under attack. Queen here, rook here. So this bishop will still be pinned. So I can play b4 and that should be winning. So I'll go for that. So bishop a7, so I can take this queen, which I will. So ab. Now, I think he has pawn, pawn, rook on an open file, mind you, but still. Knight, king, queen, rook. Something like that. He's got a bishop here too, actually. So I think that if I play queen e5 check, if the king goes to the back rank, I pick up the knight. If the king comes down, I might have some checkmates coming. Let's go for this. I'm going to do one more check. I'm going to use check number 2, just to make sure there's no pieces that can capture my queen when I play check here. No, there's not. And it looks like I should be able to... Anywho, let's just try and remember. I got those pawns, those pawns. He's got those two. That should be the last time I probably need it. Hopefully, anyway. Let's go check. We'll go check on d1. The bishop is blocked on d4, but I think I can just capture that. And it should be extremely close to mating. King has gone to the back rank. That should be check. Oh, no, sorry, my queen's here. That should be check. I'm wondering if it would be worth playing, looking for other mates. I'll just take the rook. I got a rook on d1, yeah. We'll check the king again. King's gone to a7. I'll check here, and rook d. Oh no, there's something. Oh, no, my rook's here. Sorry, that should be mate. There we go. That was okay, I think. Now, this video as well has gone for at least 20 minutes so far, so if you made it all the way to the end, congratulations, and you've earned yourself an analysis. We won't worry about a computer analysis because let's face it, the game's playing the correct moves isn't so much important as remembering the position. As we go through, I'll remember positions where I kind of lost it and had to check, and we'll figure out why. So I played a Scandi, and we just developed because it was easier to play when you've just developed. Now I stopped the pawn coming further. That was pretty important, I think. I'm going to turn off these arrows. Knight here, and it got a bit. I think it got a bit dubious after bishop d3. I'm not sure it was the greatest move, but okay. I think perhaps I should have taken here because push kind of made it quite confusing after knight here. I didn't want to take here, and it got very messy, and it makes it hard to remember in your head. However, if you keep it clear, you know, even this, check, queen here, takes. Okay, let's put the variation on the board. Pawn takes, knight takes, queen takes, queen e2 to defend, takes. This is a position that's much easier to keep in your head, and probably better for white. Not heaps, but probably just fine for white. You can play bishop f3, you can play bishop f4, you can bear down on the queen side, you can castle long and bring rook e1. Like, let's put on a random variation here. You know, something along these lines. I don't know, castles, I don't know. My point is that this looks pretty good for white, if you ask me. Now, I played d5 and it got very confusing, and I don't think that's great when playing blindfold. I thought he might play knight in here, and I would grab this pawn, and that would be fine for me, which it probably would be. Looking at the computer, it absolutely would be. But he did play this knight to e7 move, which is fine. I mean, it's not terrible or anything like that. Perhaps in this position, I overlooked queen f3 with a double attack. That's a nice little move. He's got knight f6 probably to defend, though. But perhaps just castles, and queen takes knight is not possible because of rook e1 with a pen. But of course, these things are hard to see when you're playing blindfold, and I'm happy that we just carried on. I tried to defend this pawn, but of course he could have played f5 straight away, which I totally overlooked, and so did the computer. Thankfully, I'm versing level 1, and here I just decided to develop. Might not have been best, but I decided to develop. Here, I definitely should have taken this knight. I think I definitely should have taken this knight with something like this, and this is very strong. Even probably stronger as knight takes, threatening this pawn and all sorts of discovered stuff, winning the queen. So I totally missed, after knight g6, that my bishop could take him. That's probably the biggest mistake I made in this middle game. So I wonder why. Let's quickly turn the lights off. I don't know if I can turn the pieces off here. But why, I wonder, did I miss that? Miss the fact that I could take that knight, I wonder. I'm not sure. I decided to attack that knight and try and double his pawns, which I succeeded in doing, but I missed the strength of f5 and then e4. It's a common motif. And here, I could have actually just moved my knight anywhere, really, probably back to d7, and he can't take, sorry, d2, but he can't take because of this pin. I missed that too and thought that I assumed I was forced to take, but I of course was not. But it's not terrible. Okay, I've got discovered stuff here. Oh, I missed that this was a discovered check, actually. Yeah, this move is extremely strong, I believe. Because if the king moves, then I fork the king and queen. And if he blocks, then perhaps there's this move. He can take, but then knight here, forking the queen in this position. This looks, it doesn't look like perfect for white, but it looks more than fine. Oh, my knight is hanging. Anyway, I'm not going to go into heaps of lines because this isn't really about learning chess. It's about learning blindfold chess and what's the best lines here. Okay, so we played this line. I double checked the king. The king had to move. I decided to gobble up that bishop, which I think was a fine move, and knight g5. targeting this pawn and exploiting the fact that the king can't come back because my queen's cutting along that file. He did nothing about it, and this move was the one I forgot that he played. I presumed after takes here and here and here, I thought his pawn was on here, on this square. So I thought check, which I played in the game. Thought the king had to go to the back rank, and that would have been mate. Of course, king c7 is possible. Here, I took with the rook, which is totally fine. And c3, I was thinking about a3. Either way, I'm preparing b4. I could have also played queen check and grabbed the bishop like this. Probably would have been more accurate. King here. I mean, probably c3 and b4 anyway. Regardless, we found c3. That also cuts off the rook's defense, so if my queen ever has to go away, I don't know, here, for some reason, if I play a3, the queen could take my rook. So c3 is just an extra reason why I could play it. b4, the bishop moved, I took the queen, and then we just looked for mates. And fortunately, he sacrificed a bunch of material for apparently nothing. Was there a faster mate here? Probably. Probably simply this, mate in 2. But that's okay. If you see any mate, or I saw a way to pick up the rook was the main thing I saw. And we found this mate. So, all in all, I think a pretty successful first successful attempt at a video on blindfold chess. If you like this kind of content, let me know down below. If the games are too long, I can perhaps break them up into multiple parts, easier to digest videos. Feel free to like the video if you like it, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace! And stay classy. Catch the kiss.